Hello, hello, one, two, one, check, one, check.
Radio voice.
Yes. Oh, you have a lovely radio voice. You just had a very, very long sun check. You always have very, very long sun checks.
Well, I'm just trying to take the whole thing seriously, you know. I'm not sort of...
Oh, it's not just a joke.
No.
You make them work really, really hard, your musicians, right?
Do you think so?
I think so, but in a good way. You know, I don't think there's any other way.
It's very easy when you're doing a succession of gigs and, you know, especially when you have such a sort of conversation going on with the visuals for it to become quite sort of robotic after a while because you're in sync, so you really have to work doubly hard, I think, to give it a sense of spontaneity.
I was talking with your bassist, Cher, the other day, and he was saying that it was the first time he was in a band where things kept changing even after like 6 months of touring.
Yes.
Which is
great. They need to keep changing. I mean, I would like to, obviously, a lot of the time it's not appropriate because people have been traveling especially in America, you've been traveling for like a day previously and sort of get people to then expect people to get off a bus and start learning new stuff is sometimes, but you know, as much as I can, I try to keep it inventive.
I think he meant that it made the experience more enjoyable because it's about making music.
Yes, I think that's what soundcheck in a way is to remind everyone, all of us, every day that it's about making music. You know. In
that way as well, there's an uncertainty about the show because you're like, oh, we're trying this new thing tonight.
There's certainly an uncertainty,
which is exciting. But which is rare in a band at that level, you know.
Known unknowns, or is it unknown unknowns? That's Rumsfeld. It's not really my vibe.
And I've noticed because I've been watching you for a couple of times now.
Yeah.
But I've noticed your relationship with music is very, a lot about feeling, you know.
Yes.
Does that make sense when I say that?
Totally, yeah.
Like on soundtrack, you're always 100% in there.
Yeah, well...
And if you don't feel it, you...
change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the studio, it's the same.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I try to keep it like that. The older I get, the more... I have that sense of the importance of the moment when I'm making music, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I try to lose all self-consciousness. When I was young, I was very self-conscious.
That's interesting, because usually it's the opposite, isn't it? People say they lose it, you know?
It's always the same, isn't it? You know what I mean? I think people kind of sort of exaggerate parts of their personality to, it's like Stanislavski said.
What did he say?
He said that if you're going to play a miser, then you play his generosity.
What does that mean?
So if you're going to play a shy person, then you play their sort of outward.
Their opposite.
Yeah, their opposite, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we do. And I sort of, in a way, I've become more attuned with what I really am, maybe, and of, you know, allowing then emotionally to see where it takes you each night. You know, sometimes one side of a character comes out more than the other. I don't know. When your soul isn't...
I want to start this radio show, this conversation, by talking about when you grew up.
Right.
Because I'm very curious about what was, I call it the sound zero, you know, what was the beginning of the attraction and the addiction to sound. Mm-hmm. And if you can remember maybe when you were very young, as far as you want to go, like what was the first, maybe in your family or when you grew up, if there was something around?
I'm told that I had a harmonica in my cot, and I used to play harmonica all the time.
First instrument, harmonica?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, I think there were always sort of instruments around, not like sort of expensive or elaborate instruments, but simple stuff.
Yeah.
Then I started having piano lessons, really, and I think, you know, from that point onwards, I was kind of there, really.
So you started with the piano?
When I was 6.
And you can tell that piano is still an instrument that you really master, isn't it?
I just love playing, and, you know, I just sort of...
Because on stage you start playing like that, like completely out of the blue, improvise.
Yes.
You can just play. You know?
Yes, yeah.
And Which is not something you do with guitar.
No,
as much,
no. I'm very basic on the guitar. Can't really do anything on the guitar. I don't have that freedom to close my eyes and just dance over the fretboards. You know, can't do that.
Which sometimes is good as well.
Well, that's why I started the guitar in the first place, because in the early days of Blur, I was sort of started writing songs on the piano, and they were just a bit too sort of
Too well written?
too well written and too sort of harmonically rich, and the melodies didn't seem to sort of really fit with a band,
Yeah.
So then I just picked up a guitar, went to Spain, and just dossed about southern Spain for a little while, and taught myself how to play the guitar well enough to start writing songs.
You've often done that, like going to a place to try to learn something from there.
Yeah.
There was this project last year, right, where you went to China.
No, I went to China in 2005, 6 with Jamie, and we went 4 or 5 times.
Right.
And we travelled around the whole of the country and went to these amazing kind of semi-autonomous areas where, they're not sort of Han Chinese, they're like totally different ethnicities you don't really hear about, really, but they exist within China. It's incredibly rich culturally. Amazing things like a leaf orchestra where everyone's playing leaves.
Whoa. Did you record that when you were there?
Yeah, I've got recordings of it. I mean, you know what I mean? Quite.
Yeah, that's...
Yes, it's worth travelling up into the mountains in southern China to be plied with loads of alcohol and then listen to the whole village playing leaves.
Wow, I just need a minute to just picture you and Jamie there.
Well, it was brilliant because these roads weren't particularly well maintained, because these areas are sort of, they're still very poor.
Yeah.
And we had our 2 government sort of guides following us in the car behind. And we were in this really little minivan.
Yeah.
And the driver was just always just really reckless and just be flying around the side of mountains. And then suddenly you turn up and there'd be this massive village of like 2,000 people, and they'd all have got dressed up because they'd been kind of sort of requested to represent their culture to you.
Right.
You'd have 2 hours. They'd feed us like most extraordinary food. As I say, make us drink lots and lots of local kind of moonshine, play music, and then we'd get in our little minibus again and drive into the night back to somewhere else.
So you play with them at the time?
No, and I was just recording.
They played you.
Yeah,
they played you
just,
things.
Yeah, I mean, I did eventually start playing with people in Beijing, when we started rehearsing. But that was a long time ago now.
But that was for, what was the name?
Monkey Journey to the West.
Yeah, so that was an opera?
Well, you call it an opera. I mean,
it was called an opera, but...
Yeah, I mean, I don't really do operas. I mean, Dr. D was probably the closest to an opera that I've attempted.
Okay.
I love doing stuff in the theatre,
Yeah.
I'm doing something now which can be in France, actually, at the Châtelet in 2019, I hope.
Oh.
Touch wood.
What is it?
It's, I don't know what we're going to call it. It's sort of based on the epic Mandé. Call it a poem, a tone poem, not really. It's more like it's an oral tradition carried through this story of Sundiata, who was the first kind of sort of semi-legendary, mystical, magic emperor of the Malian kingdom.
Okay.
Sort of part human, part god, part spirit. No, it's really interesting.
So you're going to write about that?
Well, I'm in some form. I mean, it's a lot of immersion, which I'm not at the moment really able to do that because I'm in Colorado at Red Rocks.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Funnily enough, the rock in Mali is of similar sort of colour to this, so it might be a similar age.
Oh, I see. It's a beautiful red, actually.
It's amazing.
I love it here. Damon Albarn is my guest today on Start Making Sense. How do you apprehend each project that is so different like that? Is there a new way each time? Is it why you want to do it? Because you're like, I've never done this. Or...
Yeah, partly I've never done it. Partly it's something that's captured my imagination.
Right.
I don't know. I've just been doing it like that for so long. It just doesn't really seem to be anything other than just
what you do.
What I do. I don't really think about it in those terms.
You work every day on the music. I mean, you seem to. Even right now, we're sitting in a room.
Yeah, but I'm not working today.
I know, but it's called the writing room. I just need people to know this because I found it really cool. So you go on tour, right, with Gorillaz, and you have everywhere we go in every city, in the hotel or in the venue, you have a writing room, and Steve follows you around.
It's a little studio.
It's a little home, like a home studio, but it's a good setup.
These days, you know, if you've got a good computer and a good...
Exactly.
You know, it's...
You can do it anywhere.
Yeah, just bring some keyboards and a mic and...
I visited your writing room when you were sound checking, so I checked your setup, and it was very inspiring.
I haven't had a chance to do it today because we came from Las Vegas.
But see, look, you'd say that as if you were guilty.
I do feel guilty.
That's just one day not doing it.
I do feel guilty. I feel guilty because it's sort of, you know, the discipline of just...
That you need.
Oh, that I need. Yes, definitely.
What happens if you don't do it?
I crumble a bit.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I know you like crumbles, but...
I do it one... Yes.
What do you mean by I crumble?
I crumble a bit. I just get a bit more sort of... I don't know. I'm not...
Unset?
Yeah, I like to feel that, you know, I'm here because the act of making music is it's the most important thing, you know. Partly came out of just trying to fill the hours when there was just nothing going on, and it's like you're stuck in a room and it's like... Do you know what I mean? They're just really...
Yeah, not become a tall vegetable.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Because I just feel like wasting time, you know. Who knows how long anything lasts, you know what I mean? It's sort of trying to make the most of it, really.
Do you think about that when it would end?
Well, I think about when I will end, because it won't end, because, you know, it's something much bigger than any of us. But, you know, your time to witness all this amazing natural stuff and human stuff is never to be taken for granted.
You're thinking of a legacy? Leaving something behind? Do you ever think about that?
I think about just trying to sort of learn as much as I can.
Right.
Yeah.
In your writing process, like the moment you write, I mean, from what I've observed, you kind of do it on the go, even when you're on holiday. I don't know, as you say, we have the tools to do everything, but you can, you know, write some little things.
Yeah.
But what does it start with? Is it different every time?
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing and a feeling. An object or a feeling from an object or...
An object? I'm very curious about that. I've never written from an object.
Yeah, I see an object.
Do you mean an instrument?
No, an object can be anything. I mean...
When you see an object, you mean the light that hits that object? That's kind of beautiful? Or not at all? You just see the object?
I don't know. It's different things happen at different times with different objects, you know?
I'm so curious about this. This is very interesting. Writing from objects. I've never heard that one before. I like it.
And then you bounce off like emotions from that sort of abstract and see what happens when, you know, you get the echo of the emotion you sent onto that abstract.
When you say abstract, you mean a noise, like a sound?
Or a lyric that isn't the object, but is the echo of the emotion upon the object.
So it's a lot about listening.
Yeah, listening and feeling.
We go back to that feeling again and again and again.
Yeah. That's the most important thing.
When I worked with you on A Week at the Power, and I went to your studio in London, that was the first thing I felt when I came into the room. Right. I mean, normally when I go and write with someone or come into someone's space, there will be certain things that happen that are, I don't know, sort of social conventions, you know?
Right.
But with you, it was more like I was entering and everything was already happening. It was like I was jumping on a moving train, if that makes sense. And you were already gone in the music. You were already there.
Yes.
And I just had to catch up with it. It's very intimidating in some ways, but also very natural.
Once you get into it, that way of doing things, it's fine. You know, not worry about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just get on the train. It is going. It is going. It is moving all the time. Yeah. You know, so you just jump on when you're ready to jump onto it, and then jump off again. You know? Exactly. As long as you do the jump, you can work on anybody. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to do the jump.
You're listening to Start Making Sense. I am Jehnny Beth, and now back to my conversation with Damon Albarn. You've worked with really eccentric people. Eccentric is maybe a negative word. I don't mean to be negative.
No, it's not a negative word.
But you work with people who
characters
who don't show up for, I don't know, 6 hours and then turn up finally
Yes.
and then don't want to leave.
Yes, exactly. That kind of person. I've worked with a lot of those.
Yeah, I'm not going to make a list.
No.
But you know who I'm talking
Oh, yeah, no.
And
Well, that applies to a lot of them. So, terrible timekeepers.
But how do you, I mean, that says a lot about you because it means you are very easygoing with that. I don't know how to.
Yeah, I am in some ways, yeah.
Is it part of it, like being flexible with that? Otherwise, you can't work.
You can't do it unless you just have to,
lose control? Is it about losing control?
Yeah, you have to just relinquish control. Not lose it, just relinquish it.
Relinquish is, I'm French and I need help on that word. What does that mean?
Relinquish is release.
Right. It sounds like you thought about that before. Relinquish.
Yeah. You allow your control to be passed around and then you patiently wait for it to come back and then you take it back.
It's like a boomerang.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's a bit more sort of amorphous than that.
When did you know you wanted to share that control? From day one? Or did it come
I don't know
after
really.
a while?
Because
Gorillaz is a very collaborative.
Yeah, it's just something
project.
That's grown and grown, really. It just grows. It's
This is a stupid question. Don't answer if you don't know how to answer it. It's not a trick question, but I'm genuinely interested to know what you think. Are you subject to melancholia?
Yes. Terrible melancholia. Absolutely terrible.
What's your relationship with it?
I'm very neurotic sometimes. I struggle with melancholia, but I know how to not necessarily simply lift it, but sort of embellish it with joy. I don't think I ever lose it. I just have to put a couple of sugars in my tea and I'm fine, you know?
And what are the remedies you have, apart from sugar?
From 2 sugars. Well, lots, actually. It's an ongoing thing. I sort of, that's part of the thing I don't like about touring is I try really hard to keep to those sorts of good habits.
Yeah, you are quite a competitive person, I think. No, you don't want me to say that.
No, I don't mind at all. Yes, I
said that because
I'm outrageously competitive.
I can tell when we go to yoga, I can tell you.
Really?
I can take that off if you want.
Really? No, I don't mind. No, really? I thought that was one place where I wasn't.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Well,
I think
I
recognize it's because I am like that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the
I'm talking about
calling
myself.
the kettle black.
Well, okay. Both guilty then.
Yeah, no, it's not guilty. It's just, it's just, listen, you're having to put hard work in. You're having to put effort into something. That's your choice, and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. After everything you've done and everything you've accomplished, do you still feel sometimes you have something to prove? Or is that saying it the wrong way?
Prove... No, I think that has been a great motivator over the years. But it's not really what motivates me now. Have I got things I still want to prove?
Well, to yourself,
to
maybe?
myself? It's not
or to
prove,
others?
but I'm fascinated in musical architecture. So there are definitely buildings I have yet to build.
That's a nice way to say it.
Yeah, it's, in the sense of architecture, I think I can keep building. I hope.
And keep building and keep building.
Keep building, yeah. Trying to build new things.
From scratch.
Yeah, from scratch. I like that. I like architecture.
You said about this new record, Humans, that it was a conversation between men and women. And there's a lot of women on the record, actually.
Yeah, I tried to create that.
Was that new for you?
No, I've done it before. I wanted this record to be very balanced. I didn't want to be all over it. I just wanted to just have a lot of voices. If I'd have called it Voices with a Z, maybe it would have been less misleading. I don't know, but Humans to me sounds like I'm saying that.
You call it Humans, you got to have.
Well, exactly. It's like this album by Gorillaz with lots of Damon Albarn singing.
It's called Humans.
What's that all about?
We got the power to be loving each other no matter what happens.
You're listening to Start Making Sense.
Would you say that women have been important in your life?
Absolutely. I mean, pivotal. Well,
Pivotal. Wow.
yeah. I mean, in positions of kind of sort of great influence in my life, they're pretty much all women.
Oh, that's nice. Me too.
Yeah. So, I've got a few. I've got my dad. I think
How did your dad influence you?
the architectural sort of try new things, invent things sort of side. Yeah.
Start little and build big.
No, my dad started trying to build big early on, I think. No, so I don't think he taught me that. It just taught me, gave me a good, intelligent, sort of open-minded approach to creativity.
What was he doing? What was his job?
My dad's had many jobs.
Okay.
He had a gallery in Kingly Street in the 60s when he left college. He was involved briefly with Soft Machine. He managed them for
Right.
I don't know how long it was. And his greatest moment was when they played Cannes, and he went into the bay the night before on a boat and poured gasoline all over the bay. So when they came on stage, because it was an outdoor festival thing, when they came on stage,
He lit it up.
He lit it up.
Oh my God. Your dad's insane.
Yeah, I don't think you get away with that now.
No. That was
that would be interpreted as something else now.
Yes.
And thankfully no one was hurt. So they were the sort of stories I grew up with. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Quite extreme.
Yeah.
You've been working with some people for a long time. I mean, even some people in the crew here were with you in the Blur times. So that's ages ago.
Yeah, quite a few.
Is loyalty important to you?
Well, I'm not going to sack anybody unless they do something really stupid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they want to leave.
Yeah.
Either way, and that's happened in the past,
Yeah.
No, I'm not like that. I mean, I just don't sort of see the point in changing stuff if you don't need to.
In that area. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all used to me doing so many different things now that I don't have to explain myself. They're fantastic. So, and someone like Stuart Lowbridge, who's been with Smoggy from virtually day one.
Yeah.
He's really influential now in the way that the sets are constructed and the dynamic of that. So it's great. I mean, we all enjoy trying to do something special, which is great.
Yeah.
It's great that we all get up in the morning and are excited about that.
Yeah. Oh, everyone is super nice in this crew. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's what we try and do.
Very welcoming
yeah. Can I say you're very good at this?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing this for a year and a half
You're
now.
very, very good at it. Very good at it. Seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was enjoyable.
I mean, I am notoriously bad.
Well, you were great.
No, thank you. But that's because you were great.
Oh. Blushing now.
It's true.
I'd like to finish this by playing something that you've been listening to recently.
Oh, God, I'm only really listening to sort of old
stuff.
1950s Mad Marleyan griot music.
But isn't that great, though?
About Sundiata and all that stuff, yeah. Oh, you can listen to some of that.
Yeah?
Bazuma, Sissoko, Sundiata.
We'll find it. Thanks for that, Damon. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, and thanks very much. I enjoyed that.
Jongana bega jonna jo meni lagunum jaga to mondi